Hello, everyone. In today's session, we'll discuss the disciplinary action process. To start, we'll look at a use case that illustrates when and how disciplinary action is applied. An employee engages in physical violence with the colleague, witnessed by others. The supervisor is immediately informed and accesses the situation. HR is contacted to investigate, and both the employees involved are spoken to outside the system. The HR admin records the disciplinary action details in the system. Once approved, and depending on the severity of the incident, the employee may receive a formal warning, suspension, or termination as per company policy. Next, we have the steps for the disciplinary action. To start the process, open the disciplinary action screen. Create a new record and select the details. Save and submit the record. It will get auto-approved by the system. Select the assignment status and click on Update Assignment button to update the finalized details. Generate the letter to the employee if required. Next, we have the prerequisites for the disciplinary action. Following screens should be predefined. That is organization, employee personal information, employee work information, and disciplinary inquiry panel. Use case execution for disciplinary action process. Upon receiving a complaint against an employee and completing an investigation outside the system, the HR admin records the offense details and proposed disciplinary action in the system. The request is then auto-approved by the system. Once auto-approved, the HR admin updates the system with the finalized details and generates the appropriate disciplinary action letter for the employee, if required. Now, let's take a look at how this works in the Onfinity system. This is the login page of the system. To proceed, we'll enter our login credentials. I'm logging in with an admin role, so I'll enter the admin username and password. Once done, click on the Login button. This is the home page where you'll see multiple charts and widgets displayed here. Now, let's access the disciplinary action screen. First, open the menu and click on the HR Management folder. Then, navigate to Workforce Management, scroll down, and click on the Disciplinary Action screen. This is the landing page for disciplinary action, where you'll find the widget, chart, and advanced search features. At the first section, there's an option to create a new disciplinary action record. Clicking on it will redirect you to the screen for adding a new record. Now, returning to our landing page. The next is View Disciplinary Action Records. Clicking on this will take you to the screen where all existing disciplinary action records are displayed. Since there are currently no records, the screen will appear blank. Now, coming back to the landing page. The next is the Disciplinary Action Report, which provides detailed information about the employees involved in disciplinary actions. Following that, we have several advanced search options. Then there is a disciplinary action comparison chart that displays data for the current year versus the previous year. Right now, the data is not available for the chart and advanced searches, as there is no record available on the screen. Once the data is added, the charts and advanced searches will update automatically. Now let's move to the screen. Here, we have few filters available to search for some specific data, such as employee, offense type, offense date, and more. Now, click on New Record. Based on the organization selected in the user profile, the same organization will appear by default. However, you can change the organization if needed. Here, I am selecting Sonic Ventures. Employee list will be filtered based on the selected organization here. You can either search for the employee name directly or click the Employee Information button. Enter the employee name, click the Refresh button, select the employee, and click OK. Once the employee is selected, their details will automatically populate in the header panel. Next, select the offense category, whether it is major or minor. Here, I am selecting the category as major. Now, select the offense type. I am choosing the offense causing physical injury to another person. Next, select the offense date. I am selecting 29th December 2025 as the offense date. Now, select the offense reported date. Please note that the offense reported date cannot be earlier than the offense date. If you select a date earlier than the offense date, the system will display an error that the offense reported date cannot be lesser than the offense date. So I am closing this error. Now select the correct offense reported date. I am selecting 30th December 2025 as the offense reported date. Next, select the reported by person's name. The reported by field refers to the person who reported the action. You can either directly search for the name here or click on the drop-down. Select the name and click OK. The action taken by field will be automatically populated with the login name once the record is saved. Next, we have the Appeal by Employee checkbox. If this is marked as true, an appeal description box will appear, allowing you to enter any comments made by the employee during this process. For now, I will leave this unchecked. Next, enter the description here. I am adding physically harming another colleague at the workplace. Next, we have the Inquiry Details section, where we will enter the inquiry-related details during this disciplinary action. First, enter the inquiry conducted by person's name. These names come from the Disciplinary Inquiry panel screen, which we have already configured. The names are displayed based on the selected offense type, which in this case is causing physical injury to another person. Click on the drop-down. The names are coming from the panel we created in the Disciplinary Inquiry panel screen for the offense causing physical injury to another person. I am selecting the employee Gaurav Sharma here for this inquiry. Click OK. Next, select the DI panel. The panel will also come from the Disciplinary Inquiry panel screen, which we have already configured. Click on the drop-down button here. Based on the selected offense type, the disciplinary panels are displayed. If multiple panels are created for one offense, all panels will be displayed here. Currently, for this offense, only one panel is created. I am selecting this panel and clicking OK. If you want to learn how to configure the Disciplinary Inquiry panel, you can refer to the recording of the Disciplinary Inquiry panel. Next, enter the inquiry result here. For example, I am adding, inquiry confirmed the person was at fault for causing injury. Next, we have the Disciplinary Action Results section, where we will select the disciplinary action. If you select the disciplinary action as warning, a new field called warning type will appear, where you have to select whether it is first, second, third, or final warning. If you select the disciplinary action as suspension, the start date becomes editable, and the end date field for the suspension will appear. If you select the disciplinary action as termination, the start date will be read-only, and the termination field will be displayed. If you select the disciplinary action as downgrade, a proposed grade field will appear, where you must select the proposed downgrade. Please note that the current grade and proposed downgrade cannot be the same. If the same grade is selected, the system will throw an error. Now, in this case, I am selecting the disciplinary action as suspension and entering the disciplinary action date. I am taking this action on 5th January 2026. Next, select the start date of the suspension. The suspension will start on 12th January 2026, and the end date will be 31st March 2026. Next, we have the letter details section. Click on the Show More button to expand it. In this section, there are two fields, letter sent and letter sent date. Both fields are read-only. When a letter is sent to the employee through the Employee Letter Request screen, or the Generate Letter form for this particular screen, the system will automatically mark the letter sent checkbox as true and populate the letter sent date with the date the letter was sent. Once all the details have been added, click the Save button to save this record. Here we can see the action taken by field automatically populated with Sonic Admin, since we are currently logged in with that user. After saving the record, if you need to attach any documents or supporting evidence, you can do so through the Document attachment. Click on it. Select the file from your system. Click on the Upload button. The file is successfully uploaded. Now close this window. Next, we have the History tab, which tracks all the changes made to this record. For example, if the offense reported date is mistakenly entered as 30th December 2025, and now needs to be corrected to 31st December 2025. I can update it here and click on Save button. After saving, a message will appear confirming that the record history has been created successfully. Now, click on the History tab to view the changes. Toggle the record. Here we see that a history entry has been created, showing the previous offense reported date as 30th December 2025. Please note that a history entry is created only for the fields which are available in the History tab. The changes made to other fields not tracked in the History tab will not create a history record. Now, returning to the Header tab, click on the Home button. Now, we will submit this record. Currently, the status shows as drafted until the record is submitted. Click the Submit button, and then OK to confirm. After successful submission, the status changes to Approved, and a new button Update Assignment appears. Currently, there are auto approvals, which is why the status changed directly to Approved. If required, a workflow can be configured based on the requirements. Now, to update these disciplinary action details in other sections of the system, we need to mark the change assignment status as true. When this is marked as true, a new field called Assignment Status will appear, where we must select the status for this employee. Since the disciplinary action was selected as suspension, we will select the assignment status as suspended. After selecting the status as suspended, a new field called Suspension Category will appear. We can choose from 3 options: suspension with half pay, suspension without pay, and suspension with pay. In this case, I am selecting suspension with half pay. Once all the details are selected, click the Save button. To update these changes in other sections of the system, click the Update Assignment button. Please note that if you click Update Assignment without selecting the assignment status details, the system will throw an error indicating missing information. Now click on Update Assignment, and then OK to confirm. The details are updated successfully, the record becomes read-only, and a new button named Revoke appears. Now, we will verify these details in the other sections. For that, go to Workforce Management and open the Employee Work Information screen. Go to the screen and select the particular employee for whom we are entering the disciplinary action details. Navigate to the Employee Work Information tab. Here, we can see that the details have been updated. The assignment status is shown as suspended. The change reason is updated as suspension, and the suspension category is updated as suspension with half pay. Now, returning to the disciplinary action screen. Since this was a case of suspension, we can generate a suspension letter for this employee. To do this, go to the Action panel and click on Print Suspension Disciplinary Action Letter. Select the file format you want, either CSV or PDF. I am choosing PDF. The suspension letter for the employee has been generated successfully. Now, returning to the disciplinary action screen. Since this was a suspension case, the suspension disciplinary letter is displayed in the Action panel. If the disciplinary action was selected as warning, a warning letter would display here. If the disciplinary action was termination, the termination letter would display in the Action panel. Now, close the Action panel. Here you have noticed that after clicking the Update Assignment button, a new button labeled Revoke appears. The Revoke button only appears in case of suspension. If any other disciplinary action is selected, the Revoke button will not be displayed. If you need to revoke the suspension before its end date, click on the Revoke button. The employee has been successfully revoked, and the details have been updated accordingly. The disciplinary action is now shown as Revoked Suspension, and the assignment status is updated to Confirmed. These updates will also reflect in the Employee Work Information screen. To verify, go to the Employee Work Information screen, which is already open. The employee Karen Verma is already open here. Navigate to the Employee Work Information tab. Here we can see that the details have been successfully updated. The assignment status shows Confirmed, and the change reason shows Revoked Suspension. As these changes are made in the Employee Work Information screen, they are also recorded in versioning as history. To check versioning, go to the Action panel click on the Zoom Across button and select the screen. Here, we can see the latest record displaying the most recent changes in assignment status and change reason, while the previous values are shown in this section. This is how we can review versioning. If you want to check any other previous data, you can review the other records of versioning. Now, return to the disciplinary action screen. Here, we have seen the disciplinary action case for suspension. Next, we will see how a case of termination works in the system. To do this, I am creating a new record. I will quickly enter all the details in a similar way as in the suspension case. The organization will remain the same, and I am selecting the employee, Atharv Sharma. The offense category is major. The offense type will be consuming alcohol beverages while on duty. The offense date is 2nd January 2026, and the offense reported date is the same, 2nd January 2026. Select the reported by person's name, which is Ishan Joshi, and click OK. Enter the description. Drinking alcohol while on duty is strictly prohibited and subject to disciplinary action. Since this is a direct termination case, there will be no inquiry, so I am not entering any inquiry details. Select the disciplinary action as termination, and select the disciplinary action date. I am taking this action on 5th of January 2026, and the termination date for this employee will be 12th of January 2026. Now, save this record. In both cases, we directly entered the disciplinary action before submitting the record. If a workflow is configured, you can first submit the record to the approval authority. After approval and discussion, the disciplinary action can then be entered. After entering all the details, click Submit, and then OK to confirm. The record is approved. Next, we will select the assignment status to update these details in other sections of the system. Click the Change Assignment Status checkbox to mark it as true. Select the appropriate assignment status. Since the disciplinary action is termination, select the status as Terminate. Click the Save button. Then, click the Update Assignment button to push these details to other sections of the system. Click OK to confirm. The details have now been successfully updated across the other sections of the system. Next, we will check these details in the Employee Personal Information screen. For that, navigate to Workforce Management and open the Employee Personal Information screen. Go to the screen. Select the particular employee for whom the disciplinary action details were entered. Go to the End of Service tab. Here, we can see that the record with the disciplinary action details has been automatically created. Now, click on the Home button. The employment end date has also been updated with the termination date. These details are also reflected in the Employee Work Information screen. Go back to the Employee Work Information screen, which is already open here. Go to the screen. Select the employee Atharv Sharma and navigate to the Employee Work Information tab. Here, the end date has been updated with the termination date, and the change reason is updated as termination. Please note that the assignment status for this employee will only be updated on the termination date, which is 12th of January 2026. Returning to the disciplinary action screen. This is how we can create disciplinary action cases for an employee. After completing the transactions, the charts and advanced search features will now reflect the updated data. To check that, navigate to the landing page to view the updated details. The data for the respective transactions has been successfully updated. This is reflected in both the advanced search for the last 6 months revoked suspension and termination cases, as well as in the disciplinary action comparison chart. Here, we can see both records, one for termination and one for revoked suspension. Next, we will see how to generate a report for disciplinary actions for these employees. You can do this either by clicking Disciplinary Action Report from the landing page or by navigating to Workforce Management. In the Reports section, click on the Disciplinary Action Report. Firstly, choose the report type, whether CSV, PDF, or RTF. If no report type is selected, the report will open as PDF automatically. Right now, I will not select any report type. The organization will be populated automatically based on the organization selected in the user profile. You can change the organization if you want to see data for specific organizations, or leave it blank to view all organizations' data. For now, I am selecting Sonic Ventures. Next, select the employee from the employee information if you want to generate the report for specific individuals. You can select multiple employees at a time. For now, I'm not selecting any employees, so I'll click the Cancel button. This is the Clear button. Use it to reset any selection, whether from the field. Select the department if you want to filter data for specific departments. Multiple departments can be selected at a time. For now, I am leaving this blank to include all departments, so I'll click the Cancel button. Next, select the date range for the disciplinary action. I am selecting 1st January 2026 to 28th February 2026. Select the disciplinary action type if you want to filter by warning, suspension, termination, or any other action. I am leaving this blank to include all disciplinary actions. After entering all the details, click OK. Click on the Zoom button to view the report clearly. Here, we can see records for 2 employees, as they were involved during the selected period. All details related to the employee's disciplinary actions are displayed. This is how we can generate a disciplinary action report for employees. If you want to download the report, click on the Download button. That concludes the disciplinary action session. Thank you for attending.